Great day, great ones. Today is February 18th, 2026, an iconic date of remembrance for the remnant. 61 years ago, Jimmy Lee Jackson was shot. It was Jimmy Lee Jackson's ultimate death that prompted the March 7th, 1965 march over the Edmund Pettus Bridge that we call Bloody Sunday. 3 years ago, February 18, 2026, we lost believing Soldier General FITZ, Sergeant Christopher Fitzgerald, Philadelphia Sheriff's Department. Sergeant Christopher Fitzgerald, Temple University Public Safety first officer to ascend in the history of Temple University in the line of duty. Major contributor to the community, founding member of the Believing Soldier Battalion, single-handedly responsible for the partnership between the Believing Soldier Battalion and the Philadelphia Sheriff's Department. We honor you, Fitz.
Who may stand in this holy place? Who can stand before his throne? Is the bright and morning star who is to come? Who can in his holy fire, the one whose heart you purify? Make us new. You are the Father. We are your clay. Oh, you call us holy, so we may come in. Now we come boldly, so we can see you. You call us holy, so we may come in. Now we come boldly, so we can see you. Glory to God, glory to God, oh. In the highest, glory to God, glory to God. Glory to God.
Yesterday, on February the 17th, 2026, we honored the 91st birthday of Reverend Dr. Joseph Lawrence Roberts, Jr., Mr. Chicago, Jersey Joe, an urban shepherd who taught me how to carry cities without losing my soul. And on today, mark the 3-year ascension of my partner, Fitz, brother, friend, father, a man who wore the badge with covenant for the community in his heart. Tomorrow, we're going to remember KJ's mother, Kenneth Jerome, Uptown Philly's king, King High School's king. Little man, say his name. Celebrate the life of Mama Nidia, a mother of our connected to the story of sons, mothers, loss, and legacy. And in the middle of it, I'm charged with getting us to look to the Lord. So I'm speaking today not emotionally, not politically, not reactively, but prophetically. Not to harm anyone, not to incite anyone, not to even attack anyone. The Holy Hood Ghost, the Spirit of the Lord, ministers in all truth. And so on today, God demands that we provide what the remnant deserves. Transparent truth from leadership. In our communities, from Philadelphia to Atlanta and everywhere in between, keep asking me, what's going on, King? What's really going on? So, in the spirit of the original gangster of the gospel, the old Fourth Ward, Daddy King, let me make it plain. You know, from Long Island City in New York to Selma, nobody beats the bridge. Nobody beats the bridge. I'm King Jetto, and nobody ever beats the bridge. You know, we talk about and we try to connect this bridge. And the Beyond the Badge community effort has been evolving for, I want to say, about the last 5 years in our urban communities. As it pertains to Philadelphia, Fitz was the badge. Me, I'm a little beyond. Wasn't 12. He was a law enforcement officer, community protector. He was a bridge. He embodied something rare in our generation. Law enforcement that understands community covenant. You know, Jihad talked about how when Sheriff Bilal came in as a Philadelphia sheriff, amazing black woman with a commitment to community, she wanted to revamp outreach. And then COVID hit, so going to the schools and the old way of doing things, it stopped. And it was Fitz, who said, listen, let me tell you about this little North Philly team. This little North Philly church, 627 West Clearfield, used to be the biggest dope corner in the 90s. We talking about the Badlands. That has been transformed through the power of the believing soldier, spiritual weapons. And who stand in the community as a pillar that refuses to allow the poison to win, period. That relationship with the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office and that Christ Platoon of the believing soldier Battalion is what helped contributed to the Philadelphia Sheriff's Department and that little hood church. Was that over 4,000 pounds of food a week during COVID? Food distribution, real outreach, real prison ministry. Literally, this is the prison ministry that went behind the wall in State Road. You know, you take State Road, CFCF, PIC, DC, and you put it up on Rice Street, the murders is the same. The issues is the same. The men of our community are the same, but it takes a certain type of anointing to go behind that wall with the gospel and produce real transformation in the lives of our youth. That's beyond outreach. That's community engagement. That's real reentry. That's real prophetic presence in our community. That's real community relationships. That's the work, the real work of the Believing Soldier Battalion. Christ Platoon work, founding soil. Fitz had a badge. I never got a badge. Y'all know that. I've always been beyond the badge. You know, prison ministry, reentry work, community violence calming, shepherding our young men before they ever see the inside of a courtroom, and then being what they quantify and qualify as what they can trust after they've experienced that experience. That's beyond a commitment to the government. That's a commitment to the kingdom. So, but the kingdom and the country, we supposed to work together. We get some examples. We might not get a great example from, you know, your Georgia senator. He's supposed to be the voice of ending mass incarceration. He prosecuting the battalion on Auburn Avenue, but in Philadelphia, God's showing up and showing out. You know, Governor Josh Shapiro stood in the cathedral and said something powerfully prophetic and profound. He said, don't just weep a tear for Fitz and hear about his commitment to community over the chaos. Governor Shapiro said, we can't cry at this funeral and refuse to support our real officers. I felt that in the depth of my being. Because in the trenches, everybody knows. That's what we've been on for the past 24 years. December the 10th, 2003, to be exact, got a phone call from Yolanda, meet me at the Heritage Sanctuary. All right, whatever. Like 9 o'clock, Bible study over. Joe finna slide. Marvin Brinson about to lock the building up. Hey, any of y'all seen Yoki? No. Why? Why you here anyway? She told me to meet her here. She ain't here. Hey, where you at? Cali. Why you tell me to meet you here? God told you to. Girl, what you mean listen to God? Love you, bye. Crazy ass sister. My phone ringing like bananas a couple hours later. Hello? Kenny just died. Police killed him. What? Typically on a Wednesday night, me and my friends go to Bible study with our women and kids, get them settled at the crib. I'm finna tear them up. Tear them out the frame on some nine ball. I would typically be sitting in the back rear seat. I'm in Atlanta. I ain't in Columbus. My friends going to play pool, get pulled over, Muskogee County Sheriff Department. My best friend, Kenneth Walker, sitting in the rear seat. He gets shot by the Muskogee County Sheriff Department, point blank range. They never claimed he had a gun. If it had not been for Yolanda Denise King being used by God to call me and tell me to meet her at the Heritage Sanctuary, Historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, I'd have died that night. Saved my life. It's bananas to the remnant, because they know I've been struggling with that day for like 19 years until December the 9th, 2022. I'm in the Heritage Sanctuary, and I'm walking out, and some little, I don't even know my man, he was just taking a picture with me like 2 weeks earlier when Warnock was trying to do his PR for outreach, saying I smacked him, my son with me. I established a safe space in the remnant. Ain't no fighting ever going on from the door of the Heritage Sanctuary until Coretta's crit. I established that in 1994 when I got here. So now I smack somebody in my safe zone. Satan. And all of y'all asking me, how in the world is a believing soldier battalion, our community work, being celebrated in Philadelphia and prosecuted in Atlanta? Well, Warnock was up for election and he had community issues between him and Shannon. So what's up? Let's do the community thing. And then my man in office, and nobody came here to work for you, my guy. I came from my folk in the community. Not that I'm advocating for you. To them, I'm advocating God in the middle of the mix. I ain't take the check. Manifesting now. That's the T y'all want, right? Because what the Lord wills for, he provides for. Everybody know. That's what I've been doing my whole life. We've been backing real officers, real community efforts, real community development, real community engagement, real entrepreneurial empowerment. We've been bridging the streets and the systems our entire lives. When folk were running from the urban inner city, my spiritual father, Leon Howard Sullivan, was running to it. When folk were running from our urban inner city youth, he was running to it. I watched my second spiritual father, William Herbert Gray, achieve the highest political position available for one of us. He was the Black Whip of Congress. He left all of that to run the United Negro College Fund. What everybody aspires to. I saw him walk away from, and he said something that a lot of people be missing. He said, I'm not a politician. God, the Holy Ghost, just told me to take the prophetic up in Congress. And God did what he do, showed up and showed out. I'm a Baptist preacher from the hood. He said, I believe in survival ministries, right? That's where God tells me to do something, and we do it. And it don't be about me. It be about him getting glory from the story. He left the political aspiration to run the United Negro College Fund. When you watch SelectPatronage.com, the documentary, he talks about my spiritual mama, amazing Grace Bank Sullivan. First thing he says, he says, you know, when I was at Abyssinian, Grace, she told me I need to get away from this because this political stuff is making me pretentious and getting me away from God. Coincidentally, Warnock started at Abyssinian where Sully left, and Kevin Johnson is there now. So don't make it personal, make it prophetic. That the same thing my spiritual mother said to my spiritual father to get him away from something in the 50s, 60s is the same thing that she kept me from now. Did you notice? Governor Brian Kemp signed Senate Bill 36. We can now really provide African Christianity, practically applied in the urban American context. I'm not taking anything away from my brothers who have only been equipped with the colonizer classroom, slave master seminary. You don't like my language? Get over it. We got a language divide. Would you like me to say those who have only studied the gospel from the colonizer perspective, they can provide the colonized Christ? But any real theological scholar would have to agree and admit factually that the Bible was written in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. Expressive Afro-Asiatic languages that predate the development of the English Empire by over 1,000 years. You know, we ain't got to go to Acts 8 and talk about the Ethiopian eunuch, a man of power and authority, who didn't come to Jerusalem to hear, he just came to worship. We had Christ in Africa before the colonized remix, but some things are more popularly preached. They're more accepted, but there's nothing about Christ that fit in with the crowd. We talking about the table flipper. So my aspiration to be conformed to the image of the Son by the Father, it doesn't allow me to fit in. You can't fit in when God created you to stand out. So in that capacity, we've been calming situations that most folk scared of before they ever hit a headline. So 3 years ago, when the world is honoring my homie as a Philadelphia hero, the world is right. But where the tension begins is where the discombobulation develops, where the disorientation inside of the remnant is discovered. It's how in the world, I ask myself the same question y'all do, are we being honored in Philadelphia and federally prosecuted on Auburn Avenue in Atlanta? How in the world? While Philadelphia buries a bridge builder, Atlanta is prosecuting a bridge builder. What in the freaking... The contradiction is a realistic one. It's why my phone ringing off the hook. And the train of his roar. Y'all not going for the media bites? You watching law enforcement in Philadelphia celebrate a partnership with a sheriff department, but y'all in Atlanta like, yo, that's what's up. 2012, we celebrated the partnership with the Fulton County sheriffs. We right online now. We in there. I made the idiotic mistake of trusting Warnock. Next thing I know, we put him in office, and all of a sudden, not law enforcement. I need y'all to understand something. It's a difference. Not APD. Not my Fulton County sheriffs. Not even my real GSU foot soldiers. National Park Service is a federal entity that sits inside of a little bubble. That's the federal government. That's not Fulton County. Somebody might notice or pay attention to the fact that when Trump was in his first run and he gave his salary back, the first check went to the National Park Service. Some folk bother. When you look on the wall of the government building, they got the little fence around it now. Don't look at it. But we got a picture of John Lewis, our Selma goat, 2015. You know, you gotta know why we had this 2015 March for Educational Rights, because February 18th, 1965, Reverend James Orange was locked up inside of the Alabama jail. Black folk thought that the racist Alabama police was gonna kill him. So they organized a march to get him out of jail. That march was intercepted by racist police who took the cameras, took the lights, start raping black women, murdering black boys. They chased Jimmy Jackson mama and Mrs. Jackson and Mr. Jackson, your old man, up in the diner. Jimmy, a community contributor, young deacon, went up in that diner, pulled that pecker neck off his mama, took 2 in the gut, and bled out. That is what prompted the March 7th March. Mary Foster, a bunch of mamas in the Brown Chapel, and I believe it's Mary Foster. She said, you know, what we ought to do? We ought to take Jimmy's body and go dump it on George Wallace's desk and allow him to see what his racist policies are doing to good community youth. That's what that March 7th March was. And over in the 2015 anniversary, after, you know, with Barack Obama on the bridge, Michelle Obama on the bridge, last time Mama Amelia Isadora Platts, Boynton Robinson was on the bridge. That's not my grandmother. That's my Uncle Bruce's mama. That's my little cousin, Dr. Carver's grandmama. My father, Samuel William Boynton's mama, my grandmama, Pearl E. Jackson. Them Jackson boys a little bit different about their mamas. She's still a matriarch. Get it fucked up. And so, you know, after the 50-year anniversary, they were on the bridge. John Lewis on the bridge. I wasn't. We took a group of students to Edmund Pettus' gravesite. It ain't go too well. Afterwards, the 50-year anniversary, and salute and in response to young black good males being murdered by racist police, we had Freddie Gray. Black boy murdered by racist police. Yeah, black men standing up all around the country. I was in Baltimore when they blew up CVS. We had a march in Philadelphia You see it where our youth got pepper sprayed by the Philadelphia police. Do you know how long it took for us to calm that relationship, get everything copacetic? About 7 years. And we got Sheriff Bilal and Sheriff LeBlanc in Philly and Atlanta at the same time. And now we rebuilding that thing, but we got some folk who they got campaigns and fundraisers for tech centers in the old Fourth Ward and for justice funds for the youth, but they've never been involved in our youth for 20 years. So in their political assent during election, they can say, he did it. No, he did it. No, he did it. Just go ahead and vote for me. Y'all got people in office right now. Just go ahead and vote for me. Crickets when you're up against Walker. But now that I'm your first black senator, just get away all them black boys, because you talk about mass incarceration, ending it. You talk about the biggest issue affecting black males, then you can't talk about my history on crapping black males. My spiritual father, the first one, Leon Howard Sullivan, he used to say, you either a part of the solution or you're a part of the problem. We talking about the political problem. And hey man, I'm prophetically stuck in the middle. And I ain't going nowhere. That's what y'all seeing. Need some clarity. Law enforcement celebrating the partnership. Y'all feel like law enforcement in Atlanta escalating the conflict? No, they not. No, they not. A little group of National Park Service officers who eat lunch at Kinley's are connected via Kenley Walker to some of their little GSU folk. And we talking about your senator who connected to GSU, who is state school. That little clique, they don't come outside for our youth. They don't care nothing about our youth. Nothing whatsoever. GSU just had a chaplain. And from March 2022 up until he retired a couple months before, he used to meet with me in Kinley's catering. Literally as a safe space for our daughters. We got tons of folk on the GSU staff talking about open up a safe space. It's all politics. It's all fluff. Right? You want to know why they pushing the kids out right now? Because Cornelius Taylor's family circling back around suing the nonprofits. You ain't see how Shannon Jones and Concerned Black Clergy now got this AI automated image as their Facebook page. They're plastic. And we hold folk accountable. We cannot, we hired this nigga 20 years ago. Jesus talked about it. The hireling, the one you hire, comes to steal, kill, and destroy. All the work that generations of the remnant, in 1934, September to be exact, 3 goats of the gospel went over to Berlin, Germany, and established what is now the Ebenezer Covenant. Whitfield Nottage, Ebenezer Community Chapel, 19th and Susquehanna. William Herbert Gray Jr., Bright Hope Baptist Church. Y'all already know what it is. The mentor of Michael King Sr., Daddy King. Now they got ML. And Whitfield got eye issues in the late 1950s, and that caused him to have a telephone ministry like Reverend Dr. Albert Paul Brinson got now. And so the Ebenezer Community Chapel ended up absorbing into the Bright Hope Baptist Church. The reason for the expansion and the groundbreaking of my basketball court, 1963 picture of Martin Luther King Jr. and William Herbert Gray III. Now, when they got ML, they got AD. Daddy King called up William Herbert Gray III. This is how Herbie told me. Daddy King's on my phone. Was like, why don't you get down here? What? Nigga, they just got my ace coon. I coming down here. I know what you need, though. I got this nigga from Chicago named Jersey Joe. He Pentecostal, but he ain't no hoe. You gonna love him. Mama King gonna love him. They said Mama King found Joseph Robbins like, I found my man, my pastor. Joe heard about all this political. I don't know. Then they came back and tried to get Daddy King missed, killed Mama King in front of Mama Ferris. And somebody asked Joe, how many more folk you gonna let die for you help Dad? Slid in. Willie thought he was cool. Then his pop died. He got a phone call from Bright Hope. They're like, hey, Pastor, I heard y'all was voting. For real, though. Who you vote for? You. I ain't even in an election. Vote again. Came over. Hey, Pastor, damn it. Can't run from what God got on you. And so we went from 3-pronged cord of the original Ebenezer Covenant to 2. We had Bright Hope and we had Ebenezer. We had Joseph Lawrence Roberts and we had William Herbert Gray III. And we get these new jack niggas We don't know them. See, the remnant, and we not against the institution. We don't know you niggas. You know what I mean? Like that though. And I'm not the remnant. I'm the big brother of the remnant. The remnant was born 1988 to 2007. It was like 15, 16, 17 when Kevin Johnson came to Bright Hope and his Morehouse homie, Raphael Gamaliel Warnock, came to Ebenezer. When Joseph Lawrence Roberts, pastor emeritus of Ebenezer, retired and William Herbert Gray retired. They retired, but they ain't go nowhere. So this ain't this instance where we got a new pastor and all of a sudden we just got to listen to this nigga. We don't know you, nigga. And we watching real hard how you respect our spiritual fathers. We ain't playing with you, dog. Listen, that title shit don't really mean too much over here in these basements. Like that, though. It's the hood. What? North Philadelphia 044. And so, yeah, like that, though. That's just what it was. And so, fast forward the videotape, man, like, when William Herbert Gray died, we threw Kevin Johnson the fuck out. April 14th, 2014. Pull down the article. The Philadelphia Tribune did it, all right? Kevin Gray, when he's getting thrown the fuck out, brought Raphael Gamaliel Warnock out. They try to get a photo out. Every usher board took the fuck off. Every one. These niggas can't even get the kitty usher boards. We ain't playing that. That wasn't even no, yo, no, dog. I know down south, you niggas might not respect your mama's right, but up here, we ain't playing that shit. Not mama's house. It's mama dad's house, nigga. Fuck you think you going on, my boy. And so, you know, Mama Wortham, Joe, they still got the knock. Now look, you know, believe that like that. All right, so the simultaneous federal prosecution pressing down on me. I got 3 decades in, you know, I'm the only person mentored ministerially by Joseph Roberts who didn't bow down to Warnock. Nigga can't stand it. Like he might be your senator, might be the pastor historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, but it's a little hard. So that young man, licensed by Leon Howard Sullivan at 8, Ebenezer, 10 years before you came, turned down your ordination, partnered with some of his homies. Because back in 2007, 2008, you ain't want shit to do with black men. You ain't want nothing to do with urban ministry, grassroots to trenches, nothing. Nigga, you was the youth minister in Harlem. Abyssinian. You can't ever run from that, my boy. Because my niggas in Harlem don't fuck with you. They like, yo, they remember how you brought Castro to Harlem. They remember you wasn't a youth minister who got elevated because you put work in the hood. You got elevated because you was about to get fucked up by them young black boys. Then you slid to Baltimore Memorial. And a young black boy from the urban inner city got abused by your third-party staff. You got locked the fuck up, my boy. But then, because you be riding for the institution, you within your legal right. Then you came to Ebenezer. Nigga, we had 5 generations of black men. You had John Maxwell on a pulpit for King Holiday 2007. 26. I got this leadership Bible from him in 2011. When he was dealing with issues in the back. Why you ain't get it? Because our mamas ain't send your ass. He says everything rises and falls on leadership, like your attendance or urban youth. And listen, homie, I got a different position that everybody else ain't got. You was up for election, you said somebody coming up against the church of Martin Luther King Jr. Nigga, Martin Luther King Jr. preached in the Heritage Sanctuary, where I'm the last son. That shit was built by Joe. Coming up against the Church of Jesus Christ. Nigga, you ain't Jesus, my boy. And we talk about ending mass incarceration. You told me to have meetings with Devin Crawford? That hoe ain't never been behind no wall. He ain't never cared about no wall, ain't never tried to talk to nobody behind the wall. And then right before you position him, he was your spokesperson for ending mass incarceration. Right after you position him to be Kamala's pastor, and everybody that fuck with you get a political appointment. Then he preaches a sermon about the identity theft of Jesus. That's not our Jesus. Well, nothing that you preach is our Jesus, my nigga. And keep my spiritual father, William Herbert Gray III, name the fuck out your mouth. You're nothing like him. He taught me about you. He told me when he looked at you and he saw what God showed him for me, that you reminded him of Robert Nix. See, Robert Nix was the first appointed congressman, like you the first appointed senator. And William Herbert Gray, as a spiritual father, told me the first appointed is typically selected by the institution. And he interned for Nix. He had respect for Nix, but we needed a younger type of leadership. So he had to go up against Nix. Lost the first time. The second time, he knocked him out the park. Chill out, homie. I don't want your political position. I told you, only reason why I fucked with you in 2022, because you blamed Shannon. Now, I told you I wasn't going for that outside story that you told everybody, that it was him and you. It was both of you motherfuckers, but since you had Vaughn, and since you was under the gun, and you was really going to do some community shit, I was going to fuck with you. And I fuck with you. And you feel like you in this position where you can sit on, homemade. You're a junior senator. You a big man in Atlanta, but you're not even a big man in Atlanta, my boy. You leveraged our heritage. You leveraged our legacy. You leveraged our work to catapult your ass politically. Since you've been the first black senator of Georgia, soon as you went in office, 2 boys shot in Atlantic Station. You ain't say a fucking word. Sent your press secretary, Shannon Jones, over there. And see, I never gave you my work, my boy. I gave it to the community. I gave it to Joseph Lawrence Roberts, but you so comfortable, colonized, and cocky that you think I'm going to just walk away and let Shannon take credit for my shit and not deliver it? Nope. Because you can't deliver it, my boy. See, I got something none of you motherfuckers got. William Herbert Gray, Joseph Lawrence Roberts, they watched you. See, Kevin Gray slid the fuck out. Your dumb ass still sitting there thinking you getting away with it. See, 2007, that's when I started doing them paper church directories. I did 403 of them, my boy. I made sure that from 2007 to 2015, I did every one of the 46 paper church business directories in Georgia. Registered all 8,200 of them folk. I looked them in the eyeballs, my boy. And they narthex. And they fellowship halls. Shannon ain't never do shit. Same time, we document turning the biggest dope corner into the sanctuary for a prison ministry busting at the seams. My father, Samuel William Boynton, told me to tell you publicly, champions don't qualify on last year's stats. Nor last generation, you loser. You got all the political power, but you got no work. And I would want to get rid of me too. When you up for re-election in 3 years, damn. That 1036 plan that Sully launched, that's a 3-year plan, huh? You know, man of integrity, huh? I done gave it all, son. Gave it all. You got $1 million house bought in tithes and offering. You done led an Ebenezer One campaign talking about a tech center. What you gonna do with it? Told the world, nigga, I'm tech. Give me my tech center, Warnock. You gonna have a justice fund. You mean like you've been locking up our boys? You mean like you've been using your shit to oppress our daughters? You talking about the kids now? Why in the world? You went to the AUC, my boy. I'm an ox. House, nigga. You done took that old hymn, My God's a Mighty Fortress, literally, and locked the doors. We got an AUC daughter running for Miss United Negro College Fund. I gotta announce it outside, 2 blocks from your church. At the same time, you talking about feeding the poor. That little girl watched community men damn near get locked up having a summer feeding program. But you got that big-ass kitchen. You getting all this federal funding. I want to get rid of my ass too, because I don't want your money. Personally, I want you to do what the fuck you said for our community. And see, folk like, why we put you in office? Well, you've been doing this shit for 17 years. You wasn't gonna change. We put your ass in office, now we got this Senate Ethics Committee. And you might have some power with the press in Atlanta, but my boy, you've been in office for 3 years. You got 4 articles from the Free Beacon. You're the first pastor in the history of the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church to get involved in politics, and you're the first one to be looked at ethically for financial fraud. Every fucking body is attached to your campaign and your movement attached with something unethical pertaining to finances and pimping the fucking community. It's one thing to give it all for nothing. It's something else to show folk we put it all on the line. And I'm still here. In love. And I'm going to say it carefully. From my perspective, what began as a community reconstruction became something that felt like the weaponization of law enforcement against the team that's bridging the block in law enforcement. The fuck is wrong with you? You showing you ain't got no touch with what's going on in the street. You talk about Trump and his staff. Who you got on your staff the entire time you've been a pastor of Ebenezer who even can lie and attempt to say you tried to reach urban men? I mean, my boy, I've been here since Joe put me here. You got somebody you gonna send out to relieve me? I'm holding down both cities, my boy. This shit ain't easy. You getting all the fundraising. We putting all the motherfucking work in. I'm just saying, my boy. I'm just saying. Senator, I ain't disagreeing with you. I'm just correcting you in love. Did you weaponize the National motherfucking Park Service against me because I didn't take the check and go along with your motherfucking shit and hold you accountable for the community or not, nigga? Because when I spent the last 30 some odd years of my life in between the badge and the block, that shit dangerous, homo. You remember 2020 election? I told you I was leaving the listening party or the voting rally in Philadelphia, headed to the listening party in Wilmington, and I got pulled over on the George Platte Bridge, extracted from my vehicle, and shot the fuck up with tasers legally held for 6 days. You said you was on election, you was gonna have my back. And then right after the fuck you got election, you weaponized law enforcement against me. You want to intentionally inflict emotional distress. Nigga, my father ran the United States Marine Corps EOD. I don't break and fuck you up, bitch. If I was gonna fuck you up, it would have been 20 years ago for you as a senator. If I was gonna fuck Isaac up, been 20 years ago. If I was gonna fuck your little fat glitter ball Luther Vandross ass nigga up, it would have been 20 years ago. He's a redemptive God, you hoe. And I'm talking to you like I'm talking to you because it's what the fuck you deserve. Do you recognize the difference between normal law enforcement procedure and escalated posture? Are you so fucking dumb and cocky that you don't realize for the work that I done put in, I got the body cam of David Dunjack? Let me draw it out for you, because Stevie Wonder can see this shit is done. This me walking out. This how you walk out the Heritage Sanctuary. This is the gift shop door. This Deacon Marvin Brinson door. The report says I was walking out the gift shop library. I walked into the gift shop, and then he walked me out, and I smacked him outside here on Auburn Avenue. Okay. And then it wasn't enough evidence for a crime. In Fulton County, false report of a crime is a crime. David Dunjab, you lying piece of shit. I never called you. I text you. I got the text message. It's evidence. That's why the federal prosecutor withdrew the motherfucking suit. You remember, ho nigga? Because in your report, you said I called you. I never called you. I said false report of a crime in Fulton County is a crime. And you didn't know. I recorded the call when I called and Marvell answered and said Warnock was out of town, so it was John Vaughn. So I was prosecuting John Vaughn, and your discovery, you called John Vaughn. That's what he want to do. We read it like this, my boy. You called your corrupt crony and said that shit we tried ain't work. He about to have you locked the fuck up and had us pulled in the APD where I got no control and don't know the motherfuckers. The only thing I can do is pull it back in. So that's what you did. You pulled it back in, David Dunjab, in your supplemental report, where you said it wasn't no evidence of a crime. So you decided to interview the motherfuckers and ask if they would come to court. Why? If it wasn't enough evidence of a crime, you so cocky in your report that you think me as a civilian won't get, that you gonna specifically say it wasn't enough evidence of a crime, so I'm gonna promote a fucking crime. See, the shit says I walked out the Heritage Sanctuary into the gift shop and walked out. Your report, you talking to a whole different person. She's sitting here. This is a totally different hatch. As soon as you look at the initial report and it said I walked out and I walked in here, and then you got this girl sitting at Deacon Marvin Brinson talking about I'm here. These two different hatches, nigga. You lying. Nobody in the black community refers to somebody as a perk. So when that girl sits up here and refers to me as a perk, you lying. You don't know I got this video where I done already walked through the real youth department. You sitting around all this youth stuff, coming up with a narrative about how you want to lock me the fuck up and get me arrested. It's supposed to be biased, bitch. And regardless, whatever the fuck took out place out here in APD, that's Fulton County, fuck boy. Now, after that and your second case is thrown out, I'm walking out the Heritage Sanctuary. I'm standing right here. This is where we see Warnock security. He wearing an Ebenezer jersey. Warnock, you just seen your pastor. That's your staff. He at work. Calling me a nigger, walking outside, saying boldly, he gonna fuck me up. I'm gonna get hurt. He need to get some professionalism. I'm gonna get hurt. Then he called 911 and make the same false police report. Consistency is key. Warnock, when that shit took place in Baltimore with the little boy abusing, it was via third party. Why the fuck am I out there? Because that's what you're doing to our boys that were baptized by Joe Roberts. They come over, they got a little nappy head. They don't fit your motherfucking optic. So you weaponize law enforcement and get them locked the fuck up. And I'm the only motherfucker that's gonna stay here because I've been here longer than you, my boy. And Joe and John and Leroy and fucking Herbie saw your ass. And so they let me know all these parameters. Boy, I'm gonna walk them right the fuck out and let you hang yourself. Because you the elected official, not me. I'm just a good Samaritan in the community who's been working with our community officers who understand community covenant. I've worked with the sheriffs who know these boys by name, but don't know you. So when escalation happens in a way that ignores history, ignores partnership, ignores community, ignores equity, you don't feel it because you never came the fuck outside. You don't feel it because you're not involved in our community, but our children do, our businesses do, our daughters do. You've become the poster boy of what Reverend Dr. Joseph Lawrence Roberts talked about. It's called silent indifference. And I don't know how you feel about it, my boy. You heard about me, huh? How when God want to say something, he throw me up. I've been like this since a baby, my boy. You Pentecostal, right? It's the Holy Ghost. He ministers in all truth. Now, this ain't just about courtrooms. It's about graves. I talked to you about December 2003, Kenneth Walker. I was walking out of the Heritage Sanctuary with my son. Nigga, you got pictures with my son as a toddler. We installed your whole ass. I covered your fucking back. And you ain't just attacking Tyson's son, you attacking mine. On the day he became a single fucking dad. And in the middle of that, your law enforcement that's looking to provoke our boys. Your law enforcement that's looking to provoke our boys. Has no fucking respect for ICE running the fuck around. For the abuse of law enforcement power, this big issue that you want to be the poster boy of, you're going to let it happen right at the fucking front steps of your sanctuary. And you ain't going to say shit. Forever the same. No idol compares, no God stands near. For I am the one all nations should fear. When I came to Ebenezer in 1994, I was sent to learn what obviously you've never studied. Urban shepherding. Leon Howard Sullivan, William Herbert Gray III told me I need to learn how to build and how to carry the covenant. It wasn't just helping Yolanda rebuild the creative arts and youth department. Joe was building and planning that sanctuary you disrespecting. And Joe taught me urban shepherding. January 23rd, 2023, when he placed me under watch care, he placed me under Deacon Marvin Brenson, who taught me covenantal community engagement. Not the colonizer classroom lessons, not the slave master seminary sellout lessons. No, dog, I learned by real folk in the trenches. How to read neighborhoods, how to calm tensions, how to step between young men and the consequences. That training matters, son. Because when things escalate in New York, when they escalate in Philly, when they escalate in Atlanta, you don't answer the phone. I'm approached as the shepherd, not the way you want to try to rebrand me, my boy. Not the rebel, not the agitator. Well, you know, the letter in response that Martin Luther King Jr. wrote, called the letter from a Birmingham jail, was really in response to clergy like you that called him an agitator. Jesus wasn't a colonized clown like the classroom homies. He was a rebel, so I guess I am a little bit rebellious. I guess I am a little bit of an agitator. But that's not the intention. The intention is to shepherd our children as a shepherd that you turned your back on. It's what Jesus said, right? The hireling. But I'm the good shepherd. I lay down my life for the sheep and I'm pick it back up. It's the order I got from my fathers. You know, when the shepherd is met with prosecution, the people get confused. It's in your Bible, preacher. Jesus talked about it right after he talked about the pruning that he'd be subjecting me to publicly. Let me punch you in the pulpit with another prophetic pericope. John 15. You're familiar. Because he says, I'm gonna jump in at, I don't know, probably about the verse 18. Yeah, if the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If I were of the world would love you as its own. Yet because you are not of the world, because I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. But remember the word. Remember the word. I spoke to you. A servant is not greater than his master. Interesting. If they persecuted me, interesting, they will persecute you. Also, if they kept my word, they would keep yours also. But all these things they do to you for my sake, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoke to them, they would have no sin. But now you have no excuse for your sin. He who hates me hates my Father. If I had not done among them the works, which no one else did, they would have no sin. But now they have seen and also hated me and my Father. But this happened that the word might be fulfilled.
They try to bleed the life from the golden soil, but how do you?
They hated me with no cause. Straight. Yo.
They took the harvest, but we kept the seed. You are the garden that satisfies every.
Yo. Enough of the bull crap. All right. Let's talk about this fight for our children. All right. May of 2023, John Vaughn gives me this letter and it throws the remnant out of Ebenezer. Fuck that nigga. The big issue is the after school Satan Club. All right, let's talk about it. All right, there's layers to this thing. It's like an onion. May of 2023. Okay. The Supreme Court ruled that, previously, y'all remember the Supreme Court ruled on abortion? They also simultaneously ruled that we could have prayer in schools. Okay. But, you know, they're gonna have some catches, right? Like, oh, let's turn up. But we cannot do something called Plathonicizing, okay? Plathonicizing is when we attempt, I got so much stuff on this, is when we attempt to convert someone to a specific religion, okay? We cannot convert or attempt to convert our children into Christianity, Judaism, or Islam, all right? Federal government shit. So we can say God. So in this space, in the vacuum that's been created, okay? Because y'all remember the first time we had Trump, he had Betsy DeVos. And she killed the funding for all of our urban schools. All those little pockets that Mama and them after school programs were utilizing, she killed all of that. So there's this gap in after school programming for our middle school and high school. And you know who stepped up in it? His name is Douglas Mesner, all right? He changed his name to Lucian Greaves when he founded the satanic cult after school Satan Club, all right? That's not a metaphor. It's a reality. All right, me and Dougie, we've been going at it for a little over a decade right now. All right, my man got an unlimited legal resources, financial budget, all of that. Don't even worry about it. This really been going on. All right, Warnock know about it, Shannon Jones know about it, Eric Minter Thomas know about it. But see, one of the things that happens is if you bow down to the colonizers' coin, then you can't really address some issues, you know. And when Satan literally has an after-school club, and in the middle of the politicians and in the middle of the preachers not loving on our children, Satan slides in and becomes their advocate. Then we got to deal with it. And so we've been dealing with it. Y'all don't see me. I'm a little woofed out. I'm fighting fucking Satan. He's a manipulator. He's a conniver. He's an accuser. The truth is not in him. I'm just saying. That's why we call Warnock Warlock. Not because I don't respect him as a preacher, because nigga, you didn't side with me on the after school Satan Club. The fucking ending mass incarceration, that's one thing, but you not side with me on Satan. Do you know what message that provides to our children? You saying healthcare. Folk like, well, damn, he helped you on mass incarceration. He helped me with the after school Satan Club, right? No. And so in May, the Pennsylvania Federal Court, my Hellertown, Pennsylvania School District, is in federal court. We're going up against the after school Satan Club on free speech protections. You know, it's a challenge for Warnock and Vaughn because, you know, I'm still in line with scripture. I just got a different messaging than y'all do. But then this is Satan in the federal government. So the federal government says, Satan, you cool in Pennsylvania. But then in historic Auburn Avenue or Ebenezer Baptist Church, the federal government saying, no, we're going to lock you the fuck up because you the crook. Hold up. What we doing besides speaking? We got, you know, I'm not going to bring up Reginald Chapel. What's my man? He's the superintendent of the National Park Service. He's supposed to be biased. My guy says right off the bat, listen, I'm not approving any of your permits. Cause Because of what? No real legitimate reason. But just because your camera.
That's all we're asking. That's all we're asking.
But he homegirling me. Y'all watch his hand move. I just want the tape review. He ain't gonna look at none of David Dumjazz stuff. He gonna say on tape, I'm the first thing David brought up to him, that corrupt shit that, because, you know, he interned for SCLC-LA. Didn't Dexter found that shit? Then he worked for the FBI. Now you the head of the National Park Service.
There's nothing there.
Nothing there. Y'all know what they did with Don Lemon. But it's reported.
I am not going to be following up with anything, no, because there's nothing there for me. If there were, the folks prior to me, the region would have picked it up. We all believe there's nothing there.
Thank you.
So please move.
No.
I don't know how else to say that to you.
Watch his hands.
And if you can't, then this is where we are.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, we've moved on.
Okay.
We've
That's fine. I believe that this is caused by Ebenezer. This is caused by the King Center. And you're biased, but you're not looking at it from a biased standpoint.
I'm biased, all right, because I'm trying to protect my staff and the park. And so at this point, the best thing...
There's anything that I've done that's been a threat?
Everything. That
recording is a threat in a national park?
No, the recording isn't a threat. The way you do it, though, the way you...
The way I record.
How
I record the things that you would
think you're aggressive. You come in...
I haven't been aggressive.
Yes, you have.
Who have I been aggressive to?
When they feel threatened, then you're aggressive.
So at any point, because you don't like what I'm saying, then you can like be aggressive. My nature hasn't been aggressive.
No,
I haven't charged anyone. I haven't done anything.
A conversation.
Define aggressive.
Do you hear me? So when I'm talking, when I'm listening to you, I'm not talking. But when I'm talking, you talk. That's a problem.
But you start pointing your finger and doing this and that. I'm not doing any of it.
It's done.
It's done because I'm not agreeing with what. That's freedom of speech.
What I didn't say I didn't agree with you. I said you can do what you can believe, whatever it is that you want to believe. Where I am is that we've moved on as a park, and we are not concerned about what happened with you.
But you're a national park. You're not a private entity that gets to sit down and say, well, as a national park, any American citizen has certain rights inside of the park.
Where's that written?
So what you're saying is you're not approving my permission. Did you hear him just say that it's not written that every citizen has the same rights? Where's that written? It's because you're saying how Coretta ran this.
No, I'm asking you, where's that written?
Equal access under the law?
No, when you can show me that, come back and...
So every citizen isn't able to get everything that's only those that you picked.
We're at the same place. We moved on. We're asking you.
Like, it's like watching Senator Warnock's staff call me a nigga, say he gonna fuck me up, and then call an APD in the same space I told y'all about. Y'all wanna see it? I ain't playing with y'all. I'm serious. That's how y'all senator moves. That's why I walked in and did this clip where they said that.
You gotta step outside.
Why I gotta step outside? This national park. Because you said so. Who are you? Why I gotta step outside?
I don't know who I am. You gotta step outside.
Why?
You gotta step outside.
Why?
She don't want you in the building.
Ma'am, you want me to go?
She don't want you in the building.
You want me to step outside?
She wants you to step outside, people.
Did you want me to step outside?
Yeah.
Okay, then my man want me to step outside, but you...
I'm security.
I made you uncomfortable? You need to level your level of professional. For what? For what?
You need to go ahead on.
For what?
Leave the building, sir.
For what? I'm on the sidewalk. You can't tell me to go nowhere. You don't own nothing on the sidewalk.
Building, she don't want you to
I can walk in this building all I want. Listen, the gift shop is separate from outside, and the only thing you're going to do is say one thing, and then she said that I'm going to step outside, but you running your mouth aggressively calling me a nigger ain't going to work. That's what you're not going to do. I know you're live and live in color. Make sure you walk it out cool. We just had it thrown out. This the second wave of it. I know.
Yes, this is cute. Yes, ma'am.
There we go. Staff.
Go ahead out there.
Yup. Very aggressive. You live.
Been very aggressive. After leaving the property, they don't want them on the property. I'm secured. The full sheriff, Hog Avenue. Auburn Avenue. Being very aggressive. We got folk working. You was the one who called me a nigga and told me you was going to do something. That's not aggressive. You can't get me to go off Auburn Avenue. I'm in the national park. Yeah, she don't want you in the building. I'm not in the building. You making it seem with your level of unprofessionalism. This is the building. Oh, sure. Not going to I'll be over there in the barbershop when they come. Get the fuck. Who you cursing at? You. You're not going to talk to me with profanity. On, man. You're not going to talk to me with profanity. I'm going to get hurt. Who going to hurt me? Who going to hurt me? You going to hurt me? You just threaten me? I'm going to have you locked the fuck up. I'm going to get hurt. Who going to hurt me? You going to get hurt. Who going to hurt me? You church security.
Y'all just heard Warnock staff say I'm going to get hurt for standing on Auburn Avenue? Now, y'all remember Cornelius Taylor? Let's go to Cornelius Taylor's funeral. Cause in Cornelius Taylor's funeral, when Vaughn lets me back in the church because he need me to bring community in, I'm gonna walk up to this motherfucker and ask him after I sent Vaughn that video, your senator sees his staff calling me a nigga, saying he gonna fuck me up, making a false police report, and then what happened? The motherfucker gonna act like it never existed. This is just how it go. Then we gonna look at Brittany Johnson and her do the same shit. This just senator, bro. I mean, y'all want to see Shannon Jones say when three boys get shot in Reverend James Orange Park, pull up to the prayer rally, say he gonna fuck me up. Like, these is y'all folks. These y'all folks, bro. This how this shit really is. Would you guys like to see what took place when John Vaughn heard one of his security guards call me a nigga, said he was gonna fuck me up, and then did what the rest of his staff did while weaponizing law enforcement? You wanna know what happened? Nothing. Nothing at all. There you go right there. How are you? Yeah, I do that. Yo, what they say about you calling me the nigger and saying you was gonna fuck me up and calling the police? Who's saying that? When over there, you did. You don't remember saying that? No. You ain't see the video with you saying it? You ain't seen no video. I didn't see the video, man. No, you calling me a nigga saying you gonna F me up. Listen, that's false report of a crime is a crime. I was trying to get your name so we can have you arrested. No, hey, bro, that's how it go on. I'm trying to tell y'all think it's a game. I'm this your senator. And because my man, listen, man, I told you my deacon Marvin Brinson, right? That's the deacon I was put under January 23rd, 1994. This is the last time you're gonna see him. They need boots, they need clothes. Why you got these closing closets out here? And I just walked somebody in because Brittany's so evil. Nobody around. You done built it up but don't want to give it to nobody. So you can go take a picture. Man is a veteran. You know what I'm saying? Get about over there so you can be cool. Now they coming to yell at me because I'm talking to you. Everybody, when they come in my conversation, they become an accuser of me for something because I'm talking to you. We're not in office now, so. The little boy, Christian, why are you coming to talk to me? I'm trying to talk to my sister. I want to talk. I want to say it in a pure spirit. I don't want the negative. I'm saying, you see it? When I get a word, here he comes on. I don't want to hear the accusation. Lost the first say something. You can't put me in my place. Don't come after me aggressively. You are female. Stop making me aggressively. See me watch it, mama. I'm walking away in front of the camera. So go ahead. You coming after me too. Now you trying to say I'm gonna watch your hair come. I ain't doing nothing. Do another accuser. Because I'm talking to a mother. Go ahead. You on tape. Everybody on tape. Go ahead and get the call. Now, you hear something about security? Now I'm about to walk back into the section and talk to two deacons. And she's going to know. What you about to do? Call the man? Now you going to hear Deacon Marvin Brenton, the deacon. And she going to come back up. Oh, he's still in here. He ain't supposed to be here. Deacon Marvin Brenton was put at that position by Daddy King. He a deacon. He like, this my deacon. He talking to me. Who the fuck is this Brittany Johnson think she is that she gonna tell Deacon Marvin Brinson he ain't supposed to be there? Now y'all understand why they kept us from Deacon Marvin Brinson's funeral. Cause this, you gonna see it. Then she going, now this where the shit get goofy. Then she going tell police some fake sexual shit. Like, if I crack Brittany in my dot phase and fucked her face off bananas, that shit was 10 years ago, man. You know what I mean? We was thoughting this shit was 20 years ago. You feel me? Running around the hood. I done reintroduced you. And look, man, I'm that real. Y'all know, listen, Martin Luther King Jr. got sent up to Bright Hope as an intern. He slayed the shit out of the hoes in my congregation. I mean, they all had some of that ML Wood. And a lot of them young bucks, shorties inside of Ebenezer, they didn't, they didn't roll the baloney pony. That's just the fucking facts, man. I don't hold no punches. I keep it real. Anyway.
Mama.
You get back to the deacons.
I'm talking to you. When she came on, I cut it on. You see me walk past you, right? And when I was screaming like I did something, you just came. And I just
phone shop like, what's up?
She come with that now. Now, what you upset about?
Yeah, like she wants
you upset about the little intern that got sent by the Bible kid talking to a trustee that has put me in place, give me the spirit of God, helping me run through my sermon. So when I'm giving it to them kids, I can talk fiery. And when y'all come accusing me, I gotta look in the eyes of a mama and the eyes of no head.
Now, y'all gotta realize this 2022, this like 2 years after I damn near got killed by police on the bridge. And I share this shit with Warnock. And the shit from the 2003 incident with Kenneth Walker, Warnock know this shit. This shit, like shit that we don't provide, but it's shared in pastoral care and counseling. So this is the shit that this motherfucker knows on some shit trying to fuck with me. Like that. So you know what I'm saying? So, I get a little bit, you know what I mean? And I want y'all to understand what that is and shit. So y'all know the vibes and shit. I'm calm, mama. I ain't upset. I'm just on the deal. I preach fiery. I'm sorry. I was raised.
I was raised by Will Great III. But you see, I came out here and I begged her on camera in front of you, like, Bill, I'm talking to my mama. Like, dad going, can I come talk to my old head? And my mama like, something, you doing this? She ran out screaming. But I'm sitting there with you, not knowing you on camera. That's the third.
Even our real D's, what she do? Go get the man?
That's the third when I'm talking to my mama. And you come in, after I bring it home, you see how they try to do it? They try to make it like I'm doing something. Like, because I'm sitting there talking to my mom.
Last time we gonna see Deacon Mark, but
Going back? Yeah, they walk around, sweetie. They got you. How long? They right there, back there now. The girls
see the
right
folk.
out there.
They ain't worried about Finny folk. Right? They worry about KJ.
Huh? Okay, they got you. All right? Don't even know the folk. If she wants something to eat, that's what she do. That just is both. Mama Worthy. Mama, they just back there. They back there putting the thing up, hanging out, because she just want to shine from not doing nothing, because that's Warnock thing. That's why I'm sitting here for them to come over. How? The same thing. Now, you know what we do? We do truth and integrity.
So what's she going to get the man?
Yeah. She came out, look, and right there when I went, it's loud, big ass thing, and it created outside. What Kay gonna do? I'm gonna stand right here. You know why?
That's prevention.
What'd he do? He rode for the kids and the mamas the whole time. What y'all mad? What did James say? Don't be a hearer, be a doer. See about the widows and the poor and the infants. What y'all mad for? What Joe say, mama? 2 types of work, right? Church work and the work of the church. You can do the building stuff. Why you mad? Because I'm doing the work of the church. Because you send some people out for your promo thing, huh? Now, if I don't sit here for Maury to come down, then they'll sit down and try and say I did something for her as a female. I'm not supposed to be. I'm talking to a deacon and a trustee, like, 2 deacons. I'm talking to 2 deacons in my whole life. You come from all the way in the back to create a scene. Now you're upset. Now you want to come down this way and you want to do it. Why? Because I just ducked you. I'm talking to my mother. I haven't had any. I'm talking to deacons. Why? From security. Okay, you don't care. You authority. Why? Because you a deacon. She gonna tell deacons what she can do. She gonna tell deacons what to do in this building. She telling deacons what to do.
Didn't he say you?
No, he came out here aggressive, tried to do what she do to incite me to fight, right? And did whatever. He filed the report. I came in, but the problem was the park authority was like, bro, that's it. What report? You enticed him. You came out there. The church stopped right there. You chased me outside. So if I did do it with self-defense and I ain't even touch you, I don't want to count about lock him up. Not about that. The hood, like, why you do that with Kay? He was out there preaching. The other day, yesterday I was preaching. I came up there. The one dude on a what's the name tried to call the police, right? Because I'm preaching. You stepped on a flower. That's on camera. You say that. Then he called the squad. You don't realize, bro. I went to Creighton. I've been at Georgia State. So you don't know nobody. The whole hood, like, that's Kay. You came at him for preaching. I rolled down the block on camera. They like, man, it was Lamar. He from New York. He was in one of my high schools. He came down here and got that job because of how we connected. I know, because he's too busy trying to lock me up to care about helping you. This the part for the poor. Now, look, I'm saying out. You see how it's coming right now? We done calmed it down.
Here she go again.
I'm the one and the two. What's up?
You see the aggression from a female. I'm a soldier. I don't have that the energy
Gonna
for
false
females.
police
I'm
report
sorry.
again.
You already gave it to me, so I'm giving.
Okay, but you keep bringing it to me. This law enforcement, they got this handled, sweetheart.
So here's the thing. I'm sorry. So here's the thing. Everything.
She telling law enforcement what the thing is. You see it?
She gonna make a statement.
He's
We're gonna
here.
warn our
After y'all
staff. Say
did
she
the
work here.
investigation, all that shit. Here's it. That's what it was, bro. That's what it is. She wasn't a false police report.
Therefore, we have been put on notice to not have step on.
Yo, after y'all just did y'all investigation, she telling police. That's what it is. It's all sense of authority when ain't nobody real around. After y'all talk to deacons, it's not a lot.
Employees inside of here, the butler. Did he tell you that?
They just did an investigation at law
Okay,
enforcement.
so done all these actions.
What's up? Once up. When my membership stopped at the church. Y'all see it?
This
That's what
before
it is. That
May
was the
because
person who came with the perp and all that. Y'all get it.
Deacon
I'm out
Brinson's
here
available.
documented. Yeah, you
Going
get it.
live.
I could be out here all day long. It's a AP did.
Okay.
What I'm going to
Now
do,
watch
right?
this.
For y'all.
Now, this is the funny part that I want y'all to see. This is what Brittany will do. She'll talk that shit, right? Now, this ain't not even that long, like 15 minutes later, I get a phone call from my kids on Edgewood. That's why they want to run us out. Because our kids shooting a video and Brittany over there wearing Ebenezer motherfucking cart trying to photobomb my kids. So they call, pull it back up. What's up? What y'all got going on? Y'all know what it is. Pulling up on the Young Bucks, about to pull up on Edgewood and Jackson at the gas station. It's right around the corner. They don't ever come outside. Hey, Warnock up to office, he had me bring Brittany out, taking pictures and shit with me. Let's try and flip it. Oh, I'm this bitch, dude. I'm hood, yo. Trying to fuck with my kids. Try and get your Ebenezer shit in there and fuck up their video shoot. So it's not that you launching a community center, you see what the kids want to do and you leverage that shit and pulling it from them. So down knowing what pussy do want to pull up on the gas station with my youngest. Y'all gonna see it. We don't fit having a video shoot. You can watch all these videos of Urban Concern Clergy. It's Fitz Day, and y'all want to know what's up with me. I'm just making it plain.
It's up with y'all. Hey, y'all throwing that video shoot, you know what I mean? So y'all know the homeless joint. Y'all listen, man. This Edgewood, this where it go down 100 years
Brittany
ago.
in the background going
if
out.
you had a black business, you either had...
Here it come, that Allen
or you
Iverson
had no
jersey.
Edgewood. This
Gonna see
the
the
hood.
youth.
This where you get to see young entrepreneurship thrive. This where we had the civil rights movement. Now we got the kingdom marketplace movement. My young kings out here, they want that entrepreneurial bag. We want a system. We want a center. Like, we got all the space, right? We want big meals. We want it the way Senator Leroy Johnson, the way Daddy King, the way friggin' Joe Roberts, the way Will Gray, the way Whitfield Nottage, the way all the coats want it. That's what we want. We don't want nothing. The beloved community is us. If it's Advent and then you want to get all of the crap, he was born at the corner gas station. It's called the Major. You know, Mary and Joseph, they was homeless. So what they was looking for, it was an old white dude who was scared of the young black man. So he put a presidential kill order to kill the young black boys. So with Joseph in the dream, told Mary to keep it moving. And so when Mary kept keeping it moving with Joseph, they pulled up. When they pulled up, right?
Here she go leaving, you see?
They was, I know my young bucks is pushing horses. So this, back then, they was really pushing mules and horses. So,
boom. See, when they go, now my kids can get into what they was doing. No more photo bombing. Now you can see the next
they had to pull up at the pump. But what they was trying for to pull up at the pump, you done? But sometimes, matter of fact, let me let them get the footage.
After you see them leave.
I like to show
You
off.
gotta appreciate the way. Can't stand the word.
Don't play with me. I know the recipe. Real life, that's the thing. Organic situations, the soul recipes. I can't take it. More guarantees. They asking me.
Yeah, man, like, listen, man, I'm not at Warnock, y'all. This bullshit back and forth, it got the calm. You know? Like the big thing, what's the big issue? Yo, listen, man, this nigga sided with and behind his campaign shit and all that, he connected with a lot of motherfuckers that's Doug Mesner. And his history go back where he can't support Ride for Black fucking boys, so he'd rather throw me under the bus. It is what it is. And so being in the middle of this, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I had to ask God, like, oh, what the frick is going on, Father? What are you doing? And what I felt from the Father wasn't rescue. It was pruning. See, we went John 15, and I jumped to the 18 because every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it can bear more fruit. This ain't been no private pruning. It's been a public pruning. It's like God said, I need you. You know, I've been preaching the word since I was a jit. Sully gave me a little piece of paper when I was 8. God says, I'm not looking for preachers. This generation got too many preachers. We don't need nobody to preach the word. I need you to become the word. So I'm pruning you, my son. All this shit that you ain't never had. That because of the assignment that I placed on your life that you've accumulated, I need to take all of that from you. Let me get the money. Give me the position. Give me the access. Give me the invitations. Give me this. Give me that. Give me that wardrobe, you little bugger. Because I need to strip you publicly so people can see that the only thing that remains in you is the covenant. Because our children need to see that the covenant is heavier than optics. And our sons and our daughters, they watching you. And the real target isn't you, my son. This is what God said to me. It's them. The real battle's generational. They're using you as the voice of our youth because our sons are pressured towards violence. And if they can get you to crack, they know how our sons will follow. Our daughters are being pressured toward digital objectification. And the Brains Over Booze movement is more than a slogan. If Satan could pull that lifeline from our daughters, and what I got you doing, son, is I'm using you to help our digitally brilliant young women realize survival doesn't require self-compromise. Says, I'm using you, my son, to help our young men realize that masculinity doesn't require destruction. Says, I'm using you to shatter the colonizer's classroom and show my children real kingdom covenant. Said, you wanted to shepherd the remnant. I'm using you to show them that your words are real. You've been telling them 2 Timothy 2nd chapter 3rd verse, right? You got to endure hardship as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. Says, so I'm making you endure some hardship. You my soldier, ain't you? Says, I'm not doing it because you loud. I'm doing it because you're effective. He said, I prune those who bear fruit so they can bear more fruit. So well, shit. You're the one that went over there to the political boy. You're right, Father. Don't despise the chastising of the Lord. I thought, I'm be transparent, I thought after they damn near killed me, it scared the fuck out of me. What? It's one thing when you fighting police brutality. It's something else when they got your ass pinned on the road and you looking down the motherfucking what? That's a different thing. I was somewhat naive. I assumed this political pussy would keep his word. Imagine that. He didn't. I assumed community equity would be honored. It wasn't. That's not me being bitter. That's me providing a transparent accounting. And on today, February 18th, 2026, it's not a random day. It sits between, it's literally like the day after Joe's 91st birthday, the 3-year ascension of FITZ. And y'all want to know, I'm always showing up, I'm always here. I put this little clip where Gerard talks about FITZ, and you like, well, damn, we kind of see. These are the memories and the other losses that shape me. It's a convergence. It's a reminder that the calling has a cost. bigger than the check you cut the colonizer's classroom. It's a reminder that truth is spoken at a cost. It's a reminder that covenant must outlive conflict. So there's no threat. There's no revenge. There's no chaos we're pushing towards community. You pick what side you want to kick it with. But let me be clear. There's no call to violence in me. There's no call to unrest in me. There's no call to attack anything other than the satanic forces coming against our community and our children in me. You know, we endure hardship as good soldiers of Jesus Christ. But we don't stay silent when the timeline got to be told. Truth ain't rebellion. Truth is alignment. You know, the Bible written in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic, translated into English. 2 words. Well, the original word for God is Ab, 2 derivatives. Abba, source, sustainer, protector, provider, progenitor. Google them. And then Ab womb. You know, Abba, we get father. Ab womb, we get daddy. Kenneth Walker, Ab womb. Kenneth Jerome, Ab womb. Christopher Fitzgerald, Ab womb. Leon Sullivan, Ab womb. William Herbert Gray, Jr. and the 3rd and number 1, Ab womb. Samuel William Boynton, 1, 2, 3. SWB, part 3. Yeah, that's me. Ab womb. Joe Roberts, Ab womb. Senator Leroy Johnson, Ab womb. John Lewis, Ab womb. Men who protect covenant. Men who carry communities. Men who don't weaponize power, but who stand 10 toes down in what God provides. That's the line in the sand that God has just had me draw. So yeah, we ran out of money 2 years ago. We just never ran out of covenant. All of the community support that you see, all of the programs that you see, the food that you see, everything, all everything that you see, even the tools, even the laptops that you see in Atlanta, they didn't come from Atlanta. They came from folk in Philadelphia, folk in North Carolina, folk in Texas. You just got Shannon Jones, Raphael Camille Warnock, Eric Vincent Thomas, fundraising all your funds. Like, all right, we here now. Get rid of them because we got Warnock for another 3 years. We can wait for another 3 years and we'll just come up with whatever. No, man. We ain't playing that. So yeah, listen. It's real in the field. You know what I mean? The opposition, it's real. Ain't no other way to tell you. The pressure, it's real. The covenant, it's real. And on this day, we're choosing truth over optics, not to destroy, but to align, not to incite, but to clarify. Fitz deserves honor. Jersey Joe deserves remembrance. The next generation of leaders who tell the whole story, not just the convenient parts, we just demanded respect. Period. Ain't got nothing to do with me, man. Got to do with our children. And we ain't playing about them. I don't know how y'all feel, man. It's...
Fuck it, I might as well look good while doing it. God, he talked to him. Had to stand on my own, not trying to be like them. Drug dealers on the corner, we was more like them. Or they was more like us. Cop some Dior chucks. We was selling that rock, trying to get Leo bucks. Brody showed me $1.50 in the backpack. I was worried about my re-up, not no ass tat. I just wanna put my feet up, but I ain't there yet. Cancer killed my auntie Squeaky, wasn't prepared for that. But shit, I'm here for facts. For my fam, that's facts. I don't need my chest Teflon. Never wore some idols, but this is Babylon. Silk shirt, gold ropes, and my Glock got 30. If I go to hell, bitch, I ain't going dirty. I'm front row at church. We in the front row at church. Dressed like I'm front row at the church. I'm focused like I'm front row at the church. Analyze my life, I know my wrongs from rights.
They stabbed me in the back, snitches using knives. Had to learn the game cause I was losing digits. In my hood, you better be strapped up like two bitches. We're shooting at the same target, but the aim different. Tell my niggas keep a torch, yo, I blaze a witness. I'm focused, so I don't entertain these niggas. I'm down 10, meaning that 40 had 30 in it. I'm Megalodon status, I control the water. Hit it with the soda, the ice make it harder. I'm really bossed up, I ain't lying to you. Freeze them with the starch, put that iron to you. All y'all's my puppets, it's like I practice voodoo. The movie that I shoot, you can't find on Hulu. Can't smack a nigga now because they'll try to sue you. So I don't waste time, I'd rather put it to you. Big face rolly with the Roman numerals. We view them shits as trophies. Coming from the soil, go out in a blaze, then I live royal. My palms start itching once that coca boils. Now it's violence, I gave you dudes too many breaks. I'm flowing like I'm spitting on a clue tape. Fire from my mouth, they say I'm spitting hell. I ain't like Brady for a reason, it's that number 12. Loud niggas talking, that was treble. Excuse me. Loud niggas talking, that was trouble. I'm dressed like I'm sitting front row at the church. I call it cutting loose ends, they call it doing dirt. Sig Sawyer underneath the Sergio Tagini. Fuck a Latin, my pocket full of blue jeans. Sitting in the church on my chest Teflon. Never wore some ice, but this is Babylon. Silk shirt, gold ropes, and my Glock got 30. If I go to hell, bitch, going dirty. Front row at the church. We in the front row at the church. Dressed like I'm front row at the church. I'm focused like I'm front row at the church.